Hello, my reader friends. Thanks for joining me today in watching this video. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back. It means a lot to me. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you. Please check out my other videos and come back again. I'm fairly new at this, so I'm really trying to build and really encourage everybody to read, not just kids. So your viewing this video helps, and it helps if you watch the other ones too. So thank you in advance. I really appreciate you, and you're amazing. If you've been here before, then you know that I'm Rhonda Morrison, and I am a librarian to third, fourth, and fifth graders here in Michigan and one of our township elementary schools. If you're not, that's who I am. And I love my job. I'm an elementary school librarian by day and a hairstylist by night. I'm a hairstylist. That's my career job. That's what I went to school for. And I always say that I am a librarian. That's my hobby job. And it's very fulfilling. I have some amazing people in my life in the evening, and then I have some amazing children in my life during the day. So I have been doing a lot of reading over the summer, and I thought, why don't I start a YouTube channel so that I can talk about all of the books that I'm reading, and because somebody might want to know. Somebody might want to hear me rant about all of these books, and it gives me the opportunity to talk about them. And hopefully they make sense. Hopefully they're entertaining. The more I do it, the better I get at it. Hopefully the better my videos will be. The lighting today isn't great. It's kind of cloudy. I am in my salon. Maybe one day I'll give you a little tour. But I have a little salon in my home, just in the front room. It was almost created for that, and I love it 2 days a week. So I have my little mirror with my lighting, so it works good for that. So welcome to my salon slash book rant studio. I'm glad you're here. I am happy you're my favorite viewer, so thank you for joining me. You've always been my favorite, so I was really hoping that you'd be here today. So let's talk about the last 6 books that I have read this summer. Ended up being about 31 books, with the hope that I could be able to recommend books to my students when they tell me what they're interested in. And my 5th graders, I pretty much know who is into what books, who loves The Dog Man, who loves drama, who loves sisters, who loves the scary books, who loves Weird But True. And then I also know my readers that are struggling to read and want to read. So my hope is to get them to read a book that inspires them to read another book. So that was my whole purpose for this summer and my goal. I've done a lot of research looking for books that we need to supplement into our library. It was very outdated. So, and maybe I'll go into it a little bit more in another video, but my last video I talked a little bit about the move that's happening. So go back and check that out because we are starting school this week, and I am a librarian without a library to start the year off. So I do go into that. They needed my room, so hopefully we'll have an update in the next couple of days or weeks. So that was my goal. So it's just put on hold for a minute, but that doesn't mean that our students aren't going to need to read books. So let's get started, and let me tell you about the last 6 books of the series. I ended up reading, I don't know if I said, I ended up reading about 31 books this summer, starting with the very last week of school. I wanted to read them all. So let me get this one out of the way. So I did. I read a Dog Man book. I talked about that one. That was very fun and exciting. And I read Enemies. This is a graphic novel. This is by Svetlana Shmakova. I hope I said that right. It is a graphic novel. The copyright is 2022. There are 224 pages. Our main character is Felicity Teal. She's an artist and a gamer. She has a younger sister named Letty, and Letty is good at everything she does. And Felicity just doesn't finish anything she does. So she can be working on a cartoon or a picture and she just doesn't finish it. And Letty gives her a hard time about it. So Felicity always feels like she just isn't measuring up to Letty. Letty's always better at everything she does. So she is having a hard time dealing with that. She is challenged with getting involved in a club after school, and it's a competition where she has to create a business and she has to set a business plan in place and run it, and then she has to present it. But she needs a partner. Her partner is her best friend, Tess. She has an ex-best friend named Joseph and his friend, Alex. Alex and Joseph are also gamers, and Alex and her are in like the same gaming group. But things are a little bit awkward with Joseph, and she doesn't really know why. That's enemy number one. And my husband just got home, so to be continued. Okay, well, I'm back, and we're going to pretend it's not the next day, and we're going to pretend that I did not put this shirt back on so that I could finish this video. So, okay, my husband got home, and I am not going to talk in front of my phone when anybody is home yet. So I have to wait until everybody is gone. Okay, we left off with Felicity and Joseph kind of being, they used to be best friends, but something happened and Felicity doesn't know what it is, but FedEx, okay. But Joseph and Alex are going to be on a team in the same entrepreneurial club after school. So they're competing against each other. But in the meantime, in the process of coming up with a business to propose, Felicity and Tess end up arguing about something silly. There's a miscommunication, of course, that's what it always is. And they become enemies. And in the end, Felicity has a lot of enemies and she doesn't know what happened. So she's learning how to talk to people, and also her sister. So give it a try. If you think your student or your child or you, if you are a student, if you like graphic novels, you'll definitely like this. If you like Sisters and Ghost, you'll definitely like this one. So I don't know, let's see. Oh, and it is from the same creator as Awkward, Brave, and Crush. So if you liked those, you'll definitely like this one. The genre is graphic novel, realistic fiction, friendship, family, contemporary, and school. So, all right. Next one I have, okay, this is a nonfiction. Also from the Scholastic Book Fair, not book fair, warehouse sale. The Monument Maker. I kind of stuck this one in there, as all of them. I had room, so I stuck this one in there. This isn't one that I had gone to look for, but I love history anyway, so this was a fun read. This is The Monument Maker. Our main character is Daniel Chester French. He is the designer and one of the builders of the Lincoln Memorial. So this goes through his story. He was raised as a farm boy. He failed academically, so he struggled there. All of his family were lawyers, so they wanted him to follow in their footsteps, but he couldn't. So he ran the family farm. And he knew he had some artistic ability, but it wasn't until he found a turnip and he carved it into a frog. And I believe there's a picture in here. Let me find it. Okay, so it's obviously not the original picture, but it's a drawing. And I'll flip through some of these because the illustrations are really cute. So there's the little frog that he carved out from a turnip that he found laying on the barn floor. It just goes through telling of how he got from that frog that he carved out of the turnip all the way to how he was able to be the one to design and construct the Lincoln Memorial. So this is one of the sculpture or the statues, because he had a miniature sculpture that he sculpted and they wanted him to make it a statue. So this was the statue. So isn't this is just, I don't even know if I can get it. If you're going to read this book, I highly suggest reading the author's notes too. I always read the author's notes on an interesting book because it talks about their research, and I learn a lot just from that. Oh my gosh, I just want to show you every single picture that's in here. That's one of his sculptures. Let's see, here's another one. A full page layout or a landscape layout. Just look at these sketches in here. So this one was copyrighted in 2019. It has 64 pages, lots of pictures. Obviously, there's only one genre, and it's nonfiction. So it's great. It's a good one. Okay, the next ones that I have are all library books that I checked out of my local library. I really do need to get them back. This one was one of the books that our fourth grade teacher used to read her class. So all the kids were always looking for the books in this series. So this is Ragweed by A.V. A.V. has a ton of books. Our copyright is 2020. There are 208 pages. Our main character is Ragweed. He's a mouse. He lives in a small country town and he wants to see the world. He wants to go and see what else is out there. So he stumbles across this city and he meets Clutch. Clutch is a skateboarder. So he's got kind of the skateboarder kind of slang that Ragweed ends up kind of picking up on the way. Clutch is also in a band, so he's a band member. So that he's kind of got that vibe going with them. His band members are Dipstick and Blinker are his, Blinker is a house pet mouse. So he's all white. We also have Silversides, this white cat. He's Silversides and he's the bad guy. He formed a group called Fear, Felines Enraged About Rodents, and he wants all of the rodents out of there. They are cramping his style. He does not like them. He is also a house pet. Our friend Blinker, who is a house pet mouse, lives in Silverside's house as well. In Silverside, where he used to be the cat that the little girl loved, he's out of there now. He's been replaced by Blinker, and he is not happy about that. So Ragweed helps the town come together to fight fear. I love that. I love that thought, and how, like, just saying that makes me excited. But so he helps fight fear, and they band together, and as the whole town all together, Ragweed introduces them with some ideas that they had never thought of. So you'll have to see if Ragweed decided to go home or to continue on his adventure. There are more in this series. I think I rated it, it's personal, like if you like it or not. It was cute. It was a quick read. There are some pictures in it. There's one right there. So I would say for my school, it would be a third grade level, third grade read. There he is saying goodbye to his family. It was okay, you know. The genre is animals, fantasy, and adventure. So this next one was another book that the same teacher read from the Ragweed series, also read this one, and I need to get more copies on the shelf. Well, actually, this teacher retired this year, or a couple years ago, so, but I loved it. City of Ember. It gave me Divergent feels, but not in it, because I mean I'm getting into the genre a little too or a little early, but it's dystopia, and personally I like dystopian books. So but The City of Ember, copyright 2003. There are 270 pages in this one. It is, let's say, fourth grade level reading. Our main characters are Lena May Field and Dune Harrow. The City of Ember was built to protect humanity from an unspecified danger that was coming. It was underground, and they had provisions for 150 years, I believe. And then there was a note for the mayor of the town that he was to not open, and he was to pass it on every single time there was a new mayor. However, the mayor ended up dying. He got sick and he passed, and he did not let the next mayor know that there was it was a box, a locked box with the instructions for 150 years what to do and how to get out, and they didn't find it. So 241 years later, they start running out of supplies, and the lights are flickering. They've run out of light bulbs, so they don't know what's going to happen. But Lena and Dune discover clues about the city's origin and a way to egress the city, and they come across the instructions. Let me back up. So when this is where it reminds me of Divergent. When they come of age, they are able to, they're put into jobs within the city, but it isn't anything that they can choose. They kind of get assigned a job through a drawing. So that's kind of where it gives me the Divergent feels. But Lena gets the job she wants as a messenger. So she just takes messages like across the city, because they don't have phones and they don't have texting and they don't have mail. That's basically the mail. So she does that, and Dune works. Oh, where does he work? Because he has an idea of how to fix the generator. So he works underground. So he fixes anything that makes the city run, basically. So they are able to come across some instructions by a series of events, and they are able to uncover the history of the city. It ends, and I want to tell you again, I want to tell you so bad, but this was left on such a cliffhanger that I have to read the next one. And I want to tell you so bad, but I'm not gonna. Okay, we'll move on. Okay. The genre for City of Ember is fantasy, dystopia, science fiction, adventure, and post-apocalypse. Okay, the next one that I have is City Spies, and I wanted to read this one because I've seen it in the library, and I really like the cover. This one is by James Ponti. I didn't say this one, but this one is by Jeannie DePreau. City Spies is by James Ponti. The copyright is 2020. There are 378 pages. Our main character is Sarah Martinez, also known as Brooklyn. She is in the foster care system, but she is a computer genius. So she was able to break into the computer system in her foster care headquarters and also her foster parents' bank. So to expose some of the things that the foster parent that she had currently been living with were doing. They were not good people, and they were not doing it for care of the children. There were several foster care children within their home, and they were not caring very nicely with them. So when she was in court, she had a fake lawyer. He is a British spy, and they call him Mother. So she ends up meeting some other city spies, Sydney, Paris, Rio, Kat, and then Monty. Monty was also an adult within the house, but they all call this British spy who is in charge of them Mother. And they are, let me look, they go to work for the top secret M16 agency. All of these kids were rescued by Mother in one way, form, or another. They all have genius abilities. So hopefully you can't hear that from outside. Hopefully he doesn't mind being on camera. Okay, and my dogs didn't bark. Okay, so if you haven't noticed, our characters are Brooklyn, Sydney, Paris, and Rio, and then there's Kat. I can't remember what it stands for, but it's abbreviated. And that name is where they lived or where Mother found them and rescued them. It was really cute. It was suspenseful. It was, it's probably a 5th grade level. The genre is mystery, adventure, espionage, I love that word, thriller, and realistic fiction. So the last book that I have for you, the last book that I read is The Liars Society. This one was a trailer for the book fair sales that we had, not last year, but the year before. And the kids went crazy over it. They loved the trailer. So I ended up ordering it, but I haven't read it yet. So I wanted to read it because I liked the trailer as well. And I liked the book too. It was okay. Like, not what I thought it was going to be, but I liked it. Okay. So The Liars Society is by Alison Gerber. The copyright is 2024, and there are 304 pages in this book. Our main character is Weatherby Walker and Jack Hunt. Weatherby gets a scholarship to this very prestigious school, and it's called Boston. It's a very high society, prestigious private school, and she gets in there because of a sailing. So all of the characters in this book are sailors. That's what this school is known for. So it's a sailing team. She gets in there because her and her neighbor, who is an adult, won the sailing race. But she didn't win honestly. But she also didn't mean to get a scholarship to this private school. She was actually going to tell on herself when they offered her the opportunity to go to this school. So she didn't say what really happened. Jack has some secrets of his own that he's hiding, and so do most of the characters in this book. Jack is from a very wealthy, privileged family, and he is desperate to prove his worth to his dad, he's a contributor to the school. So he funds a lot of things, trips and stuff. They are planning a trip to an island. The money for the trip to the island is stolen. So all the kids are disappointed about their trip being canceled. The thing that makes this book The Liar Society is there are a handful of kids who are all being blackmailed, and they are forced to play a high-stake game to solve the mystery. And if they win, they will be a part of the club that is the most powerful society in the world. That was a lie. So I'm going to kind of leave it at that. The trailer, I'm not going to lie, was better than this book. I don't even think I rated it on Goodreads yet. This is my very last one that I've read for the summer. I'm done. We've just started back to school. The genre is mystery, thriller, realistic fiction, contemporary, friendship, and sports. So thank you so much for following me in this little summer reads series. I have some other ideas to share with you about the books. Oh, come here. That I have picked up over the summer, so stay tuned for that. Please like and subscribe and share this video with your friends. I will see you next time. Thanks so much. Bye.